Hello and welcome to Won't Be Forgetting That, a podcast talking about all of the most awkward and embarrassing moments of people working in the arts and entertainment industry. I'm your podcast host, Seb Muirhead, and today we have a guest. They are a comedian, an actor, a teacher, Ben Knight, for an international comedy festival run.
Smack bang in the middle, just over halfway,
Yeah,
which is good.
beautiful.
Yeah.
How are you doing? You all right? You holding up all right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, everyone in the arts, they're nerds. Shut
Yeah.
up. It's like 1 hour a night.
Oh, mate, I've had some people, and I'm not going to name names, and thank you for everyone that has come on the past. They're like, life's falling apart. And I'm like, you're
Shut
going
up.
up and
Get a
telling
real job.
fart jokes. For
You get up 1 hour and man, yeah, I used to be a teacher. I still am a teacher.
Yeah.
But like, it's like, and that's even pretty cruisy as well, like
Yeah.
6-7 hours a day. I used to work as a lumberjack.
Oh,
I'm like,
fuck. I've done some labouring as well. And
That
you come home
sucks.
and you're bleeding from every, part of your hands. Your
Yeah.
knees are shot, and you've got, dirt in the back of your eyes.
yeah. And
And then-
these art students like,
Yeah.
oh, I had to tell my dick jokes for an hour.
I know.
Shut up,
I do
you
the same
nerds.
thing with acting as well. Everyone's so nice to you. I mean, you're a fucking big old Hollywood actor now. Yeah.
yeah.
But you do so many days on set or hours on set or whatever, and people are they look after you something fierce.
They
and
do.
It's always as far as actors go, anyone else on set doesn't get looked after at all, except for the director or the producer. They're
Oh,
the only two
man.
other ones. But if you're a grip, you can get ran over by a car, and people are like, "You good to
Suck it
finish the
up."
day?" Yeah,
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
Oh man, they're all legends. I love
Yeah.
all the grips and the lighting, and
Yeah.
I hung out with a whole heap of the stunties on the last show that I did because it was a big stunt movie.
Yeah, are
And
you allowed to talk about that one?
Yeah, we can talk about it a
Oh,
bit.
okay.
I can't say too much, obviously.
No, I
but
want every
yeah.
beat for beat what happens in
Yeah,
the film
yeah.
if you could.
I'll tell you who dies.
Oh, beautiful! Thank you. The Fall Guy, was it? Is that what
Yeah,
we're
the
talking
Fall
about?
Guy.
Fuck
Yeah.
That's so
So
sick.
that's all I can tell you.
Yeah, nice.
No, it's just a big stunt movie. David Leitch is the director.
Legendary stunt team on there as well.
Dude.
As far as that, I'm a stunty myself.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I work down in little old Melbourne. I've done a few projects down here. So in Australia, you have to be graded to work as a
Yeah.
stunt performer.
I'm getting graded at the moment.
no shit.
Yeah, I loved it so much. I'm like, I'm
Fuck
doing
yeah.
this. I spoke to Leach at the end of the film, and I was saying like, man, this is the best.
Yeah.
I love stunts so much. I'm like,
fuck
I'm
yeah.
getting graded just so because they let me do a lot of my own stunts as well. Because I
Oh,
think,
nice.
because I played sport heaps and done a bit
Yep.
of martial arts and that. So
I think as long as they can see you're competent as well.
yeah.
Tell you what, though, the number of shows that you go on or films or whatever, and the extras come up to you, and you're like, I do stunts as well, and you're like, oh, okay. And there's just so many of them that are
Extras
just
rule.
yeah.
Extras.
That's the
rule.
polite
You
way of
get
putting
the
it.
weirdest. You get the coolest people, but also it's the
Oh.
weirdest melting pot.
I love some of the extras I've worked with previously,
Yeah.
and some of them, I don't know what I'm allowed to say. Fuck, there's some strange human beings out there,
Dude,
though.
they're weird as shit.
Yeah.
Some of them. Well, here's the thing. Like one of them that I've met is like one of my really good mates now, and he's
Oh, fuck
amazing. He's amazing. He would just sort of like did some extra work, and then others, I'm like, God damn,
Yeah.
you are an absolute punish. Yeah.
Just the number. My previous episode, we had Will Jones on, very well established stunt actor in Australia.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, fantastic guy as well. But he was just talking about he accidentally flattened an extra in one of his takes because they just decided to do this massive overreaction to something that was happening and stepped out in front of him whilst he was running full pelt and just flattened them. So it's it's just
Right.
so many extras. I've had another friend as well. She was doing a driving thing in a scene, and they just walked out in front of her and slapped the bonnet of her car and did the Dustin Hoffman thing of, hey, I'm walking here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the middle of a scene. That's far out, man.
That rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. Extras are weird units, man.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, yeah.
They are something else.
It's like lovely. A lot
Yep.
of them are lovely. Most of them are lovely, but
Yep.
then you get the ones that you're like,
ones
oh,
that stick in your
fuck,
mind.
You are, yeah,
I do quite enjoy them as well, I'll be honest with you.
yeah. They're sick.
It's
They're so
it's some of
funny.
the most interesting. I don't want to say worst days on set, having to hang out with them sometimes as well, because it's the ones that are the most memorable, and in hindsight are like, fuck, that is great fun.
Yeah.
But then sometimes when you're stuck, I had this thing where I was doing a driving thing and I had an extra in the car with me recently.
Yeah.
And just a weird unit, just
Yeah.
such a strange person.
They
And I was like,
know how to corner you.
yeah, and you're in a car. I was in a car. I couldn't escape.
Yeah,
And I was just
yeah.
stuck there. And she was just going on and on about the most deeply personal stuff, which I did not feel comfortable commenting on.
Yeah, they do get quite personal.
Yeah, straight away as well.
That's so funny.
And they're always very excited when they're like, "Oh, you're a stunt person, or you're an actor. Can I somehow worm my way into this movie with you?"
Yeah, the ones
I'm
that
like
sort
the
of
least
latch on and are trying to. One of one of my girlfriend's friends that sort of cornered me at a bar. He said I'd do some extra work.
Oh, good stuff.
And he didn't know that I'd done any acting or anything. And so he found out that I'd done a little bit, and then he started chewing my ear off for about an hour or two. I'm like, dude,
damn. All right,
I gotta go. I gotta.
It's awkward, and it's a friend of a friend as well, or like
I know, because you
partner's friend or whatever, and you're like, I don't know how to politely leave this entirely.
I wish I was more rude sometimes, or I could just be like, dude, I gotta go. This is just bluntly say.
I feel like that as
You're
well,
really
but
annoying
it's also I feel like how I got you on the podcast as well, so I'm not going to complain that much.
You were really annoying, brother.
I know. I turned up outside Ben's house. If anyone wants to find Ben, I can give you his email. I can give you his home address. You can turn up there as well. Anything you want from him.
That one lovely message you sent me was really fucking annoying.
I know. Right? I do apologise, and I will have to make it up to you after this as well.
Oh, good.
But we're here to talk about embarrassing stories and awkward interactions and all that fun stuff that you get from working on set and doing stand-up and all the other fun stuff that comes with the arts and entertainment biz. But you were saying before that nothing really comes to mind for you. Which, first of all, I don't know if I believe everybody's done something, but I think it's the individual if they feel awkward about it or not as well.
I cringe when I watch some of my takes back, and some of the shows that I've done, and they've used a take, and I'm like, why did you use that take?
It's
so bad.
Literally just happened. Something recently I died in, and I put my hand down in one take to stop myself from falling. I was like, fuck, that was terrible. Yeah. And that's the one they used, obviously.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Well, they say usually editors don't like... It's kind of like, like they'll never use your worst one, and they'll never use your best one. Sort of thing.
That's insane. Editors out there, don't use the best one. What are you doing?
Exactly. Yeah. But what you feel was the best one. And I've seen some where I'm like, fuck, there must have been some real bad ones if that was like...
I know, right? I was like, if that's what made it into the final edit, what the fuck have I been doing with, firstly, that day on set, or secondly, my entire career? Because that can't be the best that I've done.
Totally. I've cringed a lot.
Yeah.
I don't really watch any.
Unless you're a sociopath, watching yourself back's real tough as well, in all fairness. Yeah, me too. Even just, I'm sure you get it a lot just now with self-tapes. So anyone that's listening, a self-tape is essentially just a casting director or casting agent will send out an audition to you, and you record it yourself at home, usually backdrop of like white or blue or something like that on your iPhone, and then you send it into them. But I don't know about you, man. Having to watch them back and edit it together into one file, I fucking hate it.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
Looking back and trying to choose which one is the best, I'm just like, God, it sucks
which one's
so much.
I didn't fuck up the most, I feel like, most of the time is what I send them. Because I'm like, none of these are the best. It's just what I didn't fuck up the most in.
Yeah.
And it's just so awkward.
Totally.
Watching so much of it back.
It's the worst part of the job.
Yeah.
Definitely, like self-tapes and all that. I think that's why a lot of actors are kind of weird. Is that the right word to use? Because
no, it's the polite word to use, I reckon.
Because so much hangs on how, like, you're judged so often, and you have to deal with so much
every day.
Knockbacks,
just other people's opinions on you as well. Yeah. It's so strange. And you're like, I find when you start out especially, you start to get a little bit inside your own head, and you're like, am I absolutely dog shit, and does everyone hate me? And then they're like, no, it's the next one. And then the next one never comes, and you're like,
I'm all right with it now.
Yeah,
but
I'm the same.
Only because I do stand-up's my job.
Yep.
Stand-up is my main job, and that's a whole other kettle of fish we can get into. That's a whole
that's
a whole other thing of being needy. Like, please like me.
Yeah.
Why aren't they like
instantaneously as well? Yeah.
Well, that's the good thing about stand-up is that...
And the bad thing.
But it is instantaneous, because like I found with a lot of acting jobs, like there's a lot of the I love the way you did that. And like there's a lot of, oh man, this is the best, this is the biggest, this is the best. And then
people really like to blow smoke up your arse.
Yeah, there's a heap of that. And then like I've seen some of the stuff I did, and they're like, oh god, that was amazing. I was like,
you're just lying.
Fine.
To me. Yeah,
it was fine. Whereas like comedy is like, if they're not laughing,
then you're not doing it. Yeah, you're not doing it right. Yeah, for sure. Huh?
Which is it's a lot more honest.
That's nice.
Yeah,
isn't it? And it's just like, at least with comedy as well, you're like, okay, I know that this is good, because then sometimes, like what you're saying, they're like, this is great, and you just never hear from them again.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, okay, I guess it wasn't then. Like,
yeah, it depends on the crowd as well, because if you get an improv crowd,
yeah,
they laugh at fucking anything. I'm just like,
I guess just out of awkwardness sometimes.
Yeah,
or the improv crowd is. I've done
nice.
a fair whack of improv. I think it's because they're all improvers themselves, people that go and see improv.
Yeah,
because nobody in their sane mind would go and see improv otherwise.
Why would you?
I know, right? Genuinely.
I went and saw improv at New York, and that was my first thing of acting and stand up. I went and lived in New York for a little bit.
Oh, nice.
And I went to the People's Improv Theatre. It was like the Upright Citizens Brigade, sort of like the one of the ones opposite that. And I met some really cool people there, and I did like one course. But it's full on, like the people that are there.
It's something else.
Yeah.
And they're always on as well. You finish class and they're all at the bar afterwards trying to do little scenes together.
Oh,
like,
dude, shut up.
Calm down. Please. I just want to sit in silence if that's all right.
Some comedians are like that as well, though.
Oh, are they?
Like, they can be on a lot, and I'm just like, I just want to talk about the footy.
Like, nobody that's been on this show, anyone that's listening, no one that's been on this show, but I've hung out with some other stand-ups, and they do their bits to you sometimes at the bar.
Yeah.
Especially if they don't know who you are, and they're like a friend of a friend or whatever.
Yeah.
And they start doing their little bits, and you're like,
yeah,
okay, cool.
I'm guilty of trying bits out.
Oh, okay.
Not established bits, not bits that I know that work, because that's like
I just put
dumb.
like
but
a
if I'll throw something in there, and if that gets a giggle, I'll go, oh yes,
keep that for later. Watch out,
fucking loser.
So if anyone comes to see Ben's show and you hear any of the exact same bits from this podcast, please just call them out in the moment.
Exactly.
But going back to some of the acting stuff, so I know that you've done your fair share of TV commercials as well.
Yeah.
I just have to bring up the Toby's Oats commercial.
Uncle Toby's,
Uncle
I got
Toby's.
roasted for that.
Yeah.
Your shite accent. So I went on Nova.
Oh, really?
I went on Nova. I'm friends with like the guys there.
Yeah.
And I went in to promote like some show, I think, like one of my comedy festival shows, and they just had this old Scottish bird.
Oh, really?
On the other end of the line. They said, "We got someone that wants to talk to you." And she goes, "Your accent was shite." And I'm just like, are we talking about my show? And she was lovely.
Really?
They just roasted me for about 5 minutes.
Obviously I'm Scottish, or not obviously, nobody can pick it whenever they speak to me in Australia. They're like, are you from Canada or Ireland? And I know Scotland. And then they'll go on to tell you how they're Scottish as well.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah. But Scottish people are the crabs in a barrel is what you describe them as. Like, they'll pull anyone down, anyone that thinks they're Scottish, anyone that is Scottish.
Yeah.
They'll bring you down a peg or two. I did this TV commercial 6 years or something like that ago. It was for a Scotch, but it was made by an Australian guy.
Yeah.
And they just wanted a big, broad Scottish accent. So I'm like, oh, hello, I'm from Scotland. I'm Shrek.
Yeah.
And the number of fucking people that commented on like the YouTube video or whatever it was, like that they uploaded it to, just being like, this guy's not Scottish, blah, blah, blah. I was like, fuck, man, there's no winning with Scottish people. I swear to God.
So you actually are Scottish, and they were still that's funny.
Yeah.
Man.
I went in for the Toby Oates commercial as well. And then afterwards, I saw that the casting house, which I won't name, posted being like, hey, we're looking for real Scottish people. And so many people tagged me in the post, and I was like, hey guys, I've already been in for this audition. I don't think they want me.
Yeah.
So
I think the reason they got me is because I look Scottish. Like,
yeah,
I've gotten so many roles.
I don't look Scottish.
I just look, because I'm a big ginger bloke.
Yeah.
Like, I don't look like a lot of people.
Australia does love their stereotypes, I have to say.
Totally.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, this guy, he has to be Scottish.
Also, because did you see the first ad of the Uncle Toby's ad?
The wee blonde boy?
Yeah. Well, he was kind of ginge.
Oh,
he was a little bit ginge, which is why I was meant to be him grown up.
I know, right? None of that was said in the advert as well.
Yeah.
It's like, there's just...
And I had these teeth. They gave me these false teeth as
well.
No shit. So in the ad, I've got these horrible Barry beef. They're just like, real... Yeah, these big chonkers.
Fuck, it's weird sometimes what they think is a good idea.
Yeah, it's wild. Anyway, I put those in. Oh, and I had to eat those breakfast bakes. And they go, do you want a spit bucket? And I'm like, oh, these things are pretty good.
How many did you eat?
Yeah, by the end, I reckon I ate about 30.
Yeah.
I was just like,
That's
I was about
lot
to
of
spew.
oats.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, whoa. By the end, I was like, there's so many oats.
Yeah,
I was backed up for a few days.
One of our past, far out, yeah. One of our past guests, Jackson Tozer, was talking about that when he had to, he didn't know about the spit bucket and ate like 30 Nando's extra spicy wings.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm mates with him.
Oh,
good
fuck
mates
yeah.
with him.
Yeah, nice. This
he's a
is
legend.
just showing that Ben hasn't listened to the podcast here, but no,
Yeah.
he's a great guy. Yeah, but he
he's
was saying
so funny.
He did the same thing as well, but with spicy wings. So you can either be backed up or shitting yourself in an airplane.
Spicy wings, man. Yeah, that would.
But I'm celiac, and I was just like, fuck it, I'll eat this, and I'll just die the next day if I get this TV commercial.
Shit.
Yeah. I would have done it.
Yeah, it paid good that
I
one.
know,
was
right?
like,
I
yeah,
know.
that one paid pretty sick.
But,
And it rolled over a few times, I think.
Didn't it? Yeah, it kept rolling up.
That's the best.
I know. So rollovers,
best.
for anyone that doesn't know as well, it's essentially they just keep playing the same TV commercial and just pay you again.
Yeah.
You literally have to do nothing.
Yeah,
It's
so I
fucking
think
great.
They took that one for 6 months.
Yeah.
I think. So what happens is they take it for 6 months, TV or online,
Everywhere, pretty much, yeah.
And then if they want to take it again, they have to just pay again.
I know, right? For doing nothing. It's great.
It rules.
The only good thing that came out of COVID is I did the sports bet ads right at the start of 2020 for the Olympics.
Oh, sick!
Yeah. And then obviously the Olympics never went ahead until 2021, so they just kept playing that ad over and over again until 2021. And I tell you what, that paid like that
Holy
genuinely
shit.
got me through COVID.
That rules.
Yeah, it was so
That's
good.
massive.
And I was like, I wasn't even the main character, and I just had to run with a wheelie bin. It's like, what is it called? The Elite Average Athlete Games or
I remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was one of the wheelie
yeah.
bin boys. I fell over with a wheelie bin.
Oh, with the wheelie bin.
Yeah.
That dude was funny in the onesie. The dude that was running.
Oh my god, I can't remember his name.
big tummy.
He's a fucking. That guy is such a funny dude as well.
yeah, he looked
Fuck.
funny.
I'm gonna edit in his name because I can't remember it just now. But yeah, Mitch Brotz. There you go. Yeah,
Awesome.
Absolute
Yeah,
legend,
yeah.
that guy.
Oh, dude, I auditioned for that.
Oh no shit.
This is pretty embarrassing because I was like, there was they put about 4 of us in a room, right? And you had to pretend to be on the high dive board.
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah.
So, all right, so I was on the high dive board, and the dude that got it, that king that caught it,
Yeah.
he was funny.
Yeah. No,
But
for
like,
sure.
They were there, and like, if you've ever been to a self tape, it just sucks. It sucks so bad.
It was
Anyway,
back in the days of being in the room as
in the
well.
room-
So,
well, exactly in the room. So I'm there, and there was 3 of us. There was 3 of us. I was on the outside, and the little fella that got it, they were like, "All right, just pretend you're on the high dive board, warming up." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm warming up." Blah, blah, blah. And the little dude that got it, he was like going hard. He's like, "Whoa, whoa!" And he
Shit.
turned to the other guy. He goes, "Slap me!" And the other guy just went bam and slapped him. And he was like, "Woo!" And he turned to me and he goes, "Slap me!" I was like, "Oh yeah." Just sort of gave me this little tap on the cheek. He was like, "Slap me!" I was like, "Fuck, dude."
Far out.
So I was like, "Oh, he's definitely got it."
Yeah.
Like, we was pumped up. And I was
Holy
like,
shit.
I can't compete
Can't
with
match
this.
that.
Yeah.
It's so awkward as well because I've done a few like TV commercials. I find are always those auditions. Like I say this every week on the podcast. I feel like they're all just a big joke. Like half of them aren't for real TV commercials. They're just there to prank you or whatever. I've done
Absolutely.
so many of them where I've just made an absolute tit of myself, and then never seen the TV commercial anyway. I'm like, was this real?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had this one.
It'd be a great premise for a TV series.
It's just getting people in to do those auditions.
Or just like, or just
Far
like
out.
some sort of. I'm writing that down. You heard it here first. We're writing.
That's
a TV
trademarked.
series.
Anyone that uses that's getting fucking sued.
TV
so, yeah.
series.
TV series, TV.
casting couch or something.
I think that's a bit of a different thing. I've watched those videos a few times though, but anyway, moving on swiftly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, of course, all innocence here. But yeah, those TV commercial things where you go in and you make a tit of yourself. I did this one once for far out. What was it? Carlton Draft.
Yeah.
I think that's right to mention. Yeah, fuck
Classic.
it. But they went in and I was like, I've got 3 months of circus training at best.
Yeah.
I can do the minimum amount of the beginning level of circus.
Dude, I went for this one as well.
Oh, no shit.
Is this the one where the keg. You had to spin the keg on your finger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they went in and they're like, can you do any circus tricks on this keg? And I
Yeah.
was like, no. I was like, I pretended to do a weightlifting routine with it at the end.
Yeah.
And then she looked at my CV and she's like, oh, you've already done an alcohol commercial. you can't do this one.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, no, I said that to my agent, but he just put me up anyway. And she was like, well, thank you for coming in. And then I dropped the keg at one point as well and fell over it. So I felt like such a dickhead.
Dude, that one reminds me, because I was in the room with, I think, 3 or 4 other blokes as well.
Oh, no shit.
And we had to kind of audition in front of each other as well. So it wasn't just me in there. There was like, it was the same deal as the diving thing. And it was so funny because there was like one dude just crushed it, and the director was howling laughing. Like he was,
far out.
God, he was cracking up laughing. He was like, oh, it's so good, so good. And then I did my thing, and then he just went, yep. Okay, that was good. And I was just like, what the fuck?
I know, right?
I'm not gonna get it. That's so funny.
Oh, I'm so happy I didn't do mine in front of other people, but that fucking TV commercial, cursed.
Yeah.
I walked into the waiting room and I saw my friend's partner who owns circus companies there.
Yeah.
And then her instructor.
Yeah.
So like real high up at like NICA is one of the biggest circus schools in Australia. Like one of the instructors from there. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah.
And I just I sat quietly in the corner. I just been like, I don't know what. It's just so so embarrassing. Just
I hate it.
Yeah, agents that listen, you don't have to put us up for them. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm happy to pass on that so I don't feel like a dickhead and so I can go home and sleep properly at night without rethinking about that all the time.
Yeah, I've started passing on the ads. Unless it's like really, really good paid and they want me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think I can pass on these ones. I'm like mainly focusing on stand up and
I wish
stuff. Yeah,
I'm hoping to get there that like soon enough with like a combination of acting and stunts where I can be like, I don't want this ad. But tell you what, Ben, I'm still fucking desperate.
Dude, but I mean, I say that now. Yeah. If someone goes, "Oh, you want 20K to flog bloody Specsavers or some bullshit like that?"
Oh, dude, I'd take Metamucil. I'd take any of that.
Yeah. Oh, the only one I won't do are those life insurance ads.
Oh, really?
I would never do one of those. You know the ones, the life insurance where it's like, oh, grandma died, she didn't leave it. You know those ones?
Yeah. The real like weird, like they're always got this weird like sepia tone.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the correct thing, but
and then the lady comes on and does a voiceover at the end. My dad said, if I ever see you in those, we'll know something's wrong.
Better to go to him first to borrow some money rather than get it from there.
Yeah. I'd rather do sell my butts than do one of those.
Oh yeah, no, I'd happily do that regardless anyway. But there's the classic audition stuff like you were saying before as well, with that guy asking to slap him. I've done a couple of auditions in the room with where there's been other people auditioning as well.
Yeah,
and like a real wanky thing, you make an offer and sometimes it just doesn't go over well, or you're like you do it instantly and you're like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I remember auditioning for this film a few years back and we were like meant to be having an argument whilst playing cards. And I threw some cards in a guy's face and I was like,
dude, was this Judy and Punch?
Yeah.
I got that wrong.
Fuck. Did you?
Yeah. I was one of the Scottish ruffians.
Oh my God, so you were? Yeah, all right. Fuck. I was trying to dance around the name of that. Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, fuck, far out. Oh, 2 Scottish roles you're beating me out for now then.
And I'm not even Scottish. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Funny.
Fuck.
Dude, I remember seeing you in
Did I have an audition with you then?
Maybe.
This was like 6 years ago, probably.
Yeah, because me, Tom, and who
Paul?
else got it? Paul.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. We were the 3 ruffians.
Yeah, far out.
I got that again because I looked the way I looked.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Because like we all looked, Paul and Tom were bald with beards, and I just had this bushy red hair.
Big ginger mane, yeah. I remember sitting in the audition room and I was like, far out, I'm like the smallest person here. I'm 6 foot as well, so I'm not tiny.
Yeah.
And there's just like
big boys.
Giant boys, yeah. And then just listen to some horrendous Scottish accents.
Oh, mine was like the worst out of all three of us.
If you're
100%.
getting work, man, it doesn't need to be good.
Well, and the other thing that Mira said, she was like, we kind of want it a little bit inaudible anyway.
Oh,
like,
do you?
a little bit, yeah.
Fuck, man,
So I'm
that's
just
what
giving it some.
I was like. I swear to God, I was like, because I can speak somewhat well for a Scottish person. People are like, you don't sound Scottish. You don't sound Scottish. I was like, yeah, because then no one understands me.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking hell. I try and speak as well as I can so I can actually get work in this country. And then they want like they're stereotypical, like, oh, and you're like, oh fuck, there's no winning.
There's no winning. Sorry, mate.
Yeah,
Funny.
but yeah, I remember in that audition, there's a. Was it you? Did I do the audition with you then? Did somebody throw cards in your face?
No, I think no. I don't remember getting cards thrown in my face.
I did the callback audition. I threw cards in someone's face, and I was like, it was somebody way bigger than me as well. And I'm like, well, that was probably a mistake to do that.
That's funny.
Yeah, far out.
I don't remember getting cards thrown in my. It could have been though.
No, there you go.
That's funny.
Yeah.
No, man, it's
Look at that. I mean, we're just reminiscing all the times that I've been beaten out by Ben for roles now. Then.
I feel really awkward now.
No, you should. Don't feel awkward. Because again, well, this is fucking perfect. You can tell this story in 5 minutes on the podcast then in that case.
Yeah. Man, But
I should feel awkward for getting beaten out by someone that's very Australian for multiple Scottish roles.
Well, yeah. Sorry about that. It was 100% what I looked like. And I know I've gotten roles for what I look like as well.
See,
not the acting thing.
It works. No, it's like it definitely would be the acting, because if it was just what you look like and you turn up and you have your thumb up your arse or whatever and then you can't say a line without staring down the camera.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's that, but I know there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
And for any actors that are listening to this is something that one of my really good friends told me, that he's amazing. Oscar Reading. I don't know if
I was going to say Oscar the Grouch.
Oscar. No,
yeah, that's pretty good. He's a legend. I won't try stand up then in that case.
No, that was a good effort. He rules. He was telling us about like the audition process, and like if there's 20 people, right, that are fantastic, and then you get 10. That you get 10. You're red hot. They were awesome, and they're all as good as each other. But then we can't have this person because she's got blonde hair and the lead has blonde hair, and we can't have this person because
they're 1 inch taller than the lead, and the lead has to be the tallest in this one because
so there's so much to it, and that's why when I put down audition tapes now, I'm like, I got really. The last one I got really upset about, I guess, in inverted commas, was I went for Les Norton, which was it was an ABC one. It was like the lead.
Yeah, right.
I got down to like the last one or two or three, whatever.
That's sometimes worse.
Well, here's the thing. I was like, oh man, like the lady in the room was like, this role's made for you. He's a big redheaded Queenslander.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah. That's me.
Yeah.
And then they gave it to someone that wasn't redhead.
I know, right?
And Les Norton's like a little bit rough looking as well. And I'm like, I've got a fucking rough head.
That guy was a bit of a pretty boy as well from memory.
And then they cast a very good looking dude, dyed his hair red and made his nose crook, gave him a prosthetic nose.
Far out, did they?
Like, stop.
That's
hilarious. Give it to the Uggo. What are you doing? Anyway, he did a great job.
Yeah.
So obviously, but like, that's the thing about auditions is like, don't put them in and go, oh God, I hope I get it. I hope I get it. Just put it in and forget the fuck about it.
I know, right? But it's so hard sometimes, especially because, like you were saying, if you're down to the last 2 or 3 or like whatever it is, when you're almost at the finish line with it, I think that's worse. Because then you start getting the hopes up. You start mentally spending that money as well. Yeah. And then you start planning out, like, well, I can't plan anything for the next 3 months because I'm going to be away filming up in Queensland or I'm going to be away in Tasmania.
Yeah.
And then when it doesn't come through, it's just like, it's almost like worse than if you just didn't get it straight away. Yeah.
So I'm lucky in the sense that I've got stand up because after I didn't get it, I was like, fuck this, and went straight like balls to the wall with stand up for like getting the festival show ready. So,
nice.
So that's good to keep your mind occupied. But any actors out there that are still sort of worried about the audition process, just put it in and forget about it. That's like the biggest advice I can give, because otherwise you just go mental.
Oh, absolutely. And you'd like, if you don't hear back from it as well, don't think like that they hated you or whatever. It's just, there's got so much fucking stuff on. And it would be nice to be like a thanks, no thanks. But far out, just the number of times you don't hear anything back and you're like, can I shave yet? Like I've been on hold for like a month.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's tiring. But absolutely. I also find like you got stand up And then I found stunts has been really helpful as well, and hopefully for yourself as well, making your way onto sets and stuff. It's nice to have that fucking, like, not backup necessarily, but something else going on so you can either fall back onto it when you don't get that or worm your way into set a slightly different way.
Yeah, definitely. I know a lot of actors that have gone into stunts.
Yeah.
My double on The Fall Guy was an actor that, he just got into stunts. But I think, a lot of the stunties that I worked with are just insane.
Oh, yeah.
They are, and especially on this one, this was like the best of the best.
Yeah.
So
was that 8711?
Yeah,
87 North, sorry.
87 North, and
absolute
Team Yaz.
legends. Yes, Team Yaz.
Team Yaz.
Yes. I know
Yasushi, man, he rules.
Oh.
Him and David that work out at Team Yaz. They are the best.
Yas as well. Like, that guy will just like throw himself onto concrete, get up and be like, that's what you need to do to protect yourself. And you're like, bro, I don't even think I can kneel down without hurting myself.
Like, I still go out there and train with him. I trained with him.
No way. You trained him with Team Yas? Yasushi,
yeah. Went out to, where is it? Moorabbin, I think.
Is that out in
his stunt team?
I don't want to give away any addresses here. Out at near the airport there?
Moorabbin, I think so.
The little private airport around the corner from there?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I just went to the studio.
I'll ask you properly after this.
After that, yeah.
I don't want to give it.
Yeah, I went and trained there with them afterwards, just because the movie finished. And I was like, I love doing stunts so much. It was more just to keep doing that and hanging out with the stunt crew because they rule.
They're a good bunch as well, and also like nobody really has an ego there. You hang out with actors quite a bit, and not to talk down on actors, obviously, but some of them can have some insane ego. But then every stunt guy is like, I could die today, so I'll probably just be pretty chill.
Stunties rule. I basically just hung out with all the stunties. Just, like every weekend we'd train at one of my other mate, Seafood Josh. He's got like a
up in Sydney.
He's got a kung fu studio, so we'd go there and train with all the stunties there.
Fuck yeah.
And all the crew there is hectic, like Dan Reed and Chris Matheson. They're up in Queensland. These psycho Queensland lads are just like Joe Rogan. Picture Joe Rogan podcast in human form. The most handsome fucking dudes ever. They're psycho as well. Like, Dan's the best, like driving one.
Yeah. It's crazy as well.
Psycho,
yeah, because they're super measured in what they do. But then, like, there's so many things you need to tick off before you can do something. But then when you're actually doing it, like any of those stunts, like this seems like it is super dangerous a lot of the time. But like, this just seems like the Wild West. Like,
some of it.
Well,
I got to do some of my own stunts.
Yeah,
and it was sick because I was like, once they worked out that I wasn't a noob, and like I could move all right, I was like, can I do this one? Which I kind of felt bad for my stunt double. But I was like, man, I really want to do. Like, I know I can do this. I know I can do it good. And so I did a fair few of my own stunts, which I was like, this is the best.
Not to give too much of a peek behind the curtain, stunt double's still there on the day, so they're still getting paid for it as well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so it's like they're not lost out on work entirely.
Yeah.
So there's so many days where I've been on set and the stunt doubles just been like there just in case. They're standing in costume just off to the side and they do nothing. You just turn up and they just get free food and wear a costume all day.
Part of it, isn't it? Yeah. It sucks. But one of the funniest stories when I was in Sydney, we went and trained in Josh's Kung Fu studio, and there were these two awesome chicks, Shanique and was it Emily? Shanique and Emily. I'm trying to remember who it was. But anyway, both of them, we spent the day just bashing me.
Oh, yeah,
they're amazing. Like Shanique is like this ex-MMA South African.
Yeah, Jesus.
The most beautiful looking woman you've ever seen, and just a fucking
destroy
savage.
you. Yeah.
She punched me in the jaw. I couldn't like eat my eggs the day.
Fucking hell.
She'd knock me around, and then we went out drinking. Like all the whole stunt crew went out drinking, and then I was walking home with both of them, and then there was like about 500 meters left, and I said, I'll walk you back to your place. And they just looked at me and fucking laughed their heads off. And they were like, we just spent the whole day bashing you. Shut up, nerd. Go
They're
home.
the ones that are walking you home.
we'll walk you home.
Yeah.
I was like,
make sure that this guy gets home safe.
I'm like a foot taller than him as well. It's just so emasculating.
Oh, I know. But even with that, like Yasushi as well, not the tallest guy in the world.
Dude, he's a savage.
Absolute, yeah.
He rules.
Yeah.
He's won a Taurus Award.
Yeah, I know, right?
People that don't know, Taurus Award is the Oscars for stunts.
Yeah.
Which it's insane that stunts aren't in the Oscars.
Exactly what I was about to say as well. Yeah, like it's upsetting that the stunt world has to make their own awards to be recognized.
Yeah.
For essentially what is like death-defying things a lot of the time as well.
Stuff that makes the movies look fucking incredible.
I know, right? Like people aren't turning up to John Wick and be like, fucking love that script, that dialogue, something else. People are turning up to it. To
John Wick and going, oh, hair and makeup was sensational.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's
beautiful. That greasy John Wick hair. Yeah.
Not taking away anything from hair and makeup.
No, they're the reason that anyone looks good on film.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
The amount of fucking spray they put in my hair, my old bloody 38-year-old thinning hair.
Oh, the ones that have the I'm going quite solidly grey just now, and they're just covering that up each day. I did this one bit part on a TV show a few years back now where I have a partially removed tattoo on my inner thigh. I got it when I was 18 because I was an absolute dipshit.
Oh, mate, we've all got them.
I was like, I'll get it there because I was still wanting to be an actor then. So I was like, no one will see this, but it's like proper inner thigh up by the crotch.
Wow.
And it's partially or mostly removed now.
Yeah.
But
what was it?
It was the.
I could see you trying to go like, you're still.
No, we'll move on in this. No.
Tell us, you pussy.
You remember the band The Libertines?
No.
Oh, far out.
Yeah.
So maybe they didn't make their way out here so much.
Yeah.
Any British listeners definitely know who they were.
Yeah.
Pete Doherty.
Okay.
He was like, he dated Kate Moss for a while.
Yeah.
Big,
yeah.
Like, but it was like back in the mid 2000s where like heroin was the cool thing to be on.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
So massive skag head, as they would say. But they're like band, but you're like, new age, like be a libertine, go against the flow and all that sort of stuff. So obviously to go against the flow and not be the same as everyone else, all of their fans got exactly the same tattoo.
Yeah.
So I was like, everyone got it on their arm, but I was like, I don't want to get it on my arm because I want to be an actor, and that'd be like not great.
Yeah.
So I got the word libertine tattooed on the inside of my thigh.
Great.
Not a good idea in hindsight.
That'd fucking hurt as well.
I was quite drunk when I got it.
Yeah, sick.
Tell you what, it does hurt when you're sober and getting it removed. The inside, I don't know if anyone's had anything zapped on the inside of their legs. That fucking sucks.
Sting. Yeah, dude.
So it's partially removed. It's almost fully gone. And then a few years back, it was... what's her name? Olivia Newton-John's biopic.
Oh, yeah.
So we were reshooting the Let's Get Physical music video.
Yeah.
So I was wearing a nice little pair of white Speedos, which I've spoken about a few times previously for all the wrong reasons on this podcast.
Yeah.
But one of the makeup ladies had to cover up our tattoos on the day. So there was one guy who had quite a big shoulder piece that had to get covered up, and mine was in the inside of my leg.
Damn.
And I just felt so bad for her. Like, hair and makeup, God bless you, because you have to get into some of the worst areas of a human being to fix it up. So she was shaving the inside of my leg and then trying to paint it.
Yeah.
But she was like, I've never covered up a partially removed tattoo. So she was spending ages trying to remove it. And it's right next to my balls.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And I was like,
sorry.
Yeah. I just kept apologizing. I was like, I don't know what else to say in this situation.
Yeah.
And it was after like, this was also for previous listeners to the podcast, the same show where I had to wear a flesh-colored thong underneath the Speedos.
Right.
Which I found out later they washed and reused for other people.
Sick.
So I presume it was reused on me as well. So like, I was very grateful to be on this show. Fully pretty much cut out at the end of it as well, though.
Of course it was.
I think on maybe the last episode of the podcast, I said I think maybe my arse and my hands made it into the show.
Yeah.
So I just had this hour of makeup in the morning of just painting out my inner thigh. So
damn.
God bless. I cannot for the life of me remember this lady's name, but I was just vehemently trying not to make eye contact with her, and she was down there and just like I felt so bad for her.
Be worse if you were making eye contact. That's
I mean, just not breaking eye contact as well. Just being
that's
like,
right.
Yeah, I get some of that makeup to take home with me, please.
God damn. Yeah, man. I had to wear one of those modesty socks over
cock socks. We're a big fan of cock socks on this podcast.
Yeah, gave it a little bloody... It was cold.
Yeah.
Gave it a little flick before I tied the knot.
I don't know how you don't, because I've got so many friends that do circus, and I'm like, how do you not make it look tiny? And loads of people tie off in the industry, so it's where you get a little.
You get a bit of blood in it, and then you tie it. Yeah, I heard about this with someone told me like strippers.
Yep. Yeah, strippers do it as well.
They get a bit of blood in it, and then they put a rubber band around it.
Yeah,
I was like,
not a rubber band. Right. You don't want to use that. There's specific. Well, one of the previous guests, Paul of the podcast, he used a hairband. Whilst he was doing an aerial routine for a circus, so it started to roll off and pushed one of his testicles back up inside him, and he was like 6 feet off the ground, flying through the air. So there's specific silicone rings for anyone that's wanting to tie off listening to this podcast.
Oh, is there a name for it?
Specific, yeah. So it's actually called tying off.
Okay,
yeah. So if you want to in the future, next time you get some silicone rings.
All right, some silicone rings.
Any makers of silicone rings that want to sponsor the podcast, do give us a shout out.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
because you want to.
Because it's embarrassing as well, and like I don't know what you had to do it for, or what did you have to do it for?
It was for a show called The Warriors on ABC. It was we were professional footballers. And had to get my ass out.
Oh, never fun, is it?
Yeah,
like
I don't care.
Yeah, see, this is why anyone else would be like, I had to stand in a room with loads of people just staring at my arse. But yeah, if you're just proud of it.
Yeah,
maybe I should start doing that a bit more.
I had to get fully ripped as well for this show.
All right.
Pretty, so I got shredded for this show.
Yeah,
I look pretty good.
So good.
Look, that's probably the best I've looked in my life.
And it's captured forever on film as well. So anytime anyone's
so my ass was like, good, and I was like, of course I'm going to get it out. Whenever I had to take the lid off, I'm like, of course I'll take my fucking lid off.
Of course, that's the whole reason I did this show.
Totally.
Did you have to get your arse waxed?
No, I don't have a hairy butt, but my mate had to shave his.
Yep, I've had requests of myself and friends on projects where they're like, they just can't have hairs protruding from your arse crack, which is fair enough.
Nah, mine's all right.
Yeah.
Mine's
got that. See, this is why
pretty.
You've not had to sit in the saddle position in Brazilian Butterfly making small talk, being like, "Hey, so do you get a lot of guys coming in? This is for a show. Like, it's nothing weird."
Yeah, totally.
And they're like, "It's fine. We've seen literally everything." They're just talking into your butthole the entire time. Yeah.
Fuck.
But yeah, those little cock socks are. They're, first of all, like, never comfortable. I don't know how to get them to stay on properly.
Yeah, I tied the shit out of mine.
Yeah.
I thought the old fella was going to drop off.
That's what I got so scared of. But apparently they use double-sided, like, Hollywood tape now. But
do they?
I don't know, man. There's still no good way of keeping, especially if you're in a shower scene. That thing fills with water. It's happy to just fall straight onto the floor.
Oh, have you done a shower scene with it?
No, sorry, I thought that's what you were saying.
No, I didn't do a shower scene.
Oh, right.
No. We just had to drop Dax.
Right.
In the Warriors, though, I had to wear a prosthetic dick as well.
What?
It's pretty funny if you watch the last episode.
Anyone watching or listening should definitely go and check out that episode.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, the Warriors, I accidentally stabbed myself with steroids, and so I have to beat the drug test. And they take a scan of our dicks, but they think it's for one of the Aboriginal boys.
Yeah.
And so this big black dick rocks up. And I have a big black dick.
You have to wear it.
I put foundation over the dick, and I've got to wear this black dick. Yeah.
Holy shit.
And yeah, it was a monster.
All right.
So there's a real funny scene with, this is kind of funny, with my stunt double from for the Fall Guy.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Big Rob, we did a scene together, and then he rocked up and he goes, "I'm your stunt double." I was like, "Oh shit,
fuck,
dude,
that's great." It's also nice when you get to work with people you like as well.
Yeah. He's like, "Last time I saw you, you had a big black dick." I was like, "Yeah,
I still got that actually." Yeah.
I'm wearing it. I haven't taken it off.
Yeah, that's what gets me all these parts.
Yeah.
Turn up.
Yeah,
this thing stuffed in my pants. Who doesn't want to hire me?
But that was. I don't think I've had many. I wasn't being rude. I wanted to write this down because I thought this is the most embarrassed I've ever been.
Yeah.
And it was a voiceover.
Right.
Okay.
That's pretty impressive, I have to be honest.
Okay, so I still cringe about this every time I tell this story.
I can't fucking wait. This is what I'm here for, Ben.
Okay.
Please, set the scene.
I did a voiceover and everything went fine, okay? It was good, and the guy said, "Oh man, you got such a great voice."
Nice.
And I said, "Thank you so much." And in my head, what I wanted to say was like, in my head I had like, you know how models are just born with like they're not like they've done nothing. They just stay in shape. They got a pretty face.
Yeah,
they've done
right.
Nothing.
Your skeletal structure in your face
Everything's
makes
come
your
from
career.
Yeah, everything's come from your mum and dad.
Yeah,
like,
right.
You're just an influencer. Like there's no talent there, sort of thing.
Yeah, fuck you, models. How about that?
Well,
no, I know what you're saying though. Like, and I've done a little bit.
You're getting money for looking good.
Yeah, right.
You've done nothing.
You don't have to remember lines. You don't have to hit your mark. You don't have to cry.
Just
you don't
stand
have to
there
do anything.
and just go. Well, there is a little bit of talent. Right?
Yeah,
you got to
yeah,
kind
for
of
sure. Look natural on camera and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
okay. But it's not like you don't hear of anyone, like you hear all the time of like people just walking down the street and going, you should be a model, and that's how they became a model.
Yeah,
you don't hear that about football players or anything like
no,
that. Like,
right.
You got to
Somebody
work
over
hard.
listening to you on a train and be like, you should be a voice actor.
Yeah, exactly. So in my head, I was like, oh, all I want to say is trying to be humble.
Yep.
And trying to say like, I've done nothing to achieve my voice.
Yeah.
But I think how it came out, and I still don't know because I've blacked out and I've tried to get rid of this, but how it came out, he said like, man, you got such a good voice. I was like, man, I don't know. I was like just born with it. Like I didn't do anything for it. But how I said I was just born with it or something like that. And he just looked at me like, all right. And as I went outside, I went, did I just say I was just born with, like, hey, good voice, man. I was like, yeah, I was just born with it. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
The whole drive home, I'm like, fuck. What a dickhead, you idiot. Don't say that.
I know. It sounds like, and I know you didn't mean it this way. It sounds super pretentious. Like, yeah.
Totally.
What of it?
Totally.
Yeah.
And they've never got me back.
Oh,
and it's still in my head. It's still in my head. And if I hope someone's listening from that thing because I think about it every
Do you want to
night.
mention what the voiceover was?
No, I can't even remember what it was.
Oh, okay.
I don't even remember what it was. I think it was for some university thing, but I rang my management afterwards and I go, I just said this. I just said this. I meant it to sound humble. I was trying to sound humble, like, yeah, I've done nothing to achieve my voice.
Yeah.
But I think it came out, I was just born with
Yeah.
like fucking
yeah, of
Maybelline,
course. I'm
maybe
a natural.
born with it.
What of it?
You fucking idiot. And I think about that, I reckon, once a month. I can't sleep.
That kind of stuff as well. I'm always on the fence of being like, should I just try and find that guy on social media and send him a message?
Yeah.
And be like, hey, I know I said this to you like 6 years ago. This is what I actually meant.
Yeah.
And then they'd either just not reply or be like,
dude,
I don't even know what you're talking about, man.
Anyway, I know that's not super embarrassing to other people, but I still think about it so much. I'm like, you fucking idiot.
It's those little things as well, though, isn't it? Like, yeah, sure, I can stand with my arse out in front of a camera crew, that's fine. But then just saying that little thing in passing and then
none
leaving.
Of that, none of that embarrasses me at all. Like, I don't get that embarrassed. I'm just checking my notes because
please.
some stories. The only other thing that was kind of embarrassing, I had to do a sex scene.
Never, like, for anyone listening, sex scenes are never sexy, never fun. Like, if you're kind of friends with the person, you can make a joke about it.
It was fine because it was with two other blokes.
Oh, yeah.
And they were both my mates.
Oh, see, that's better.
And it was a comedy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never done a real sex scene.
I've done a couple.
Yeah.
Both in theatre and on film.
Yeah.
And theatre is, like with stand-up, instant feedback, where you can hear people commenting on what's going on at the time.
Yeah, right.
Because there was this one show I did at South Bank Theatre a few years back now.
Yeah.
And it was quite a salacious show or whatever, as far as like some of the sexual stuff that went in it.
Yeah.
So there was this one scene where it was like, there were two different parts of the scene where there was this guy and a girl in a bar having a conversation.
Yeah.
And then there was me and this other girl in a bed and I was eating her out.
Yeah.
And then the entire time all I could hear from people in the background is like either older people being like, what's he doing under the covers?
Yeah.
Or the other people being like, oh, he's going down on her
the
entire time. And then it's just like that play-by-play. And that was the same show which somebody was like, I pretended to have sex with this girl on a table later on.
Yeah.
I had my arse out. And then people are just commenting, it's like, he's clenching his arse a lot. I'm like, yeah, I don't want you to see any hole because you're sitting in the front row right in front of my arse. Like arse to face. Dude. It's like, yeah.
Theatre's horny as shit, isn't it?
Yeah, theatre's weird, man. I kind of love it for that reason as well.
Have you had to get your pecker out on stage?
On stage, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, a couple of times.
How'd that go?
It's the same thing because you're like, before you get on,
did you put
a couple of flicks before you get on?
Yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah.
you're like, otherwise you're like, I don't know like what the proper term for it in theatre is, but like from playing sports, you're a sportsman yourself, like called sportsman's cock or sportsman's willy.
Dude.
It just climbs back inside you.
It's wild.
Yeah,
After
it's
every
crazy.
footy game, I'd
Yeah.
be like, where the...
Yeah.
It's fine.
I was always the same. After any martial arts or any time I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I was like, this
Yeah.
is like, I can't find it.
Yeah.
You're just in the showers afterwards trying to like pull it back out again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same in theatre because you're doing so many other things and you're like sweating and you're concentrating.
Yeah.
Then you need to get your kit off and go out and you're like, this is possibly the only time, or I'm going to say probably the only time, most of my friends, like extended friends and all these strangers are going to see my cock. So I'll be
Yeah.
like, I want them to like have a good memory of it. And then
Yeah.
sometimes people are like, oh yeah, I saw your penis. Yeah.
It's fine.
And you're like, oh, fuck. I was like, I'll show it to you again. Just let me, I'll do it now. It's better now.
let me
Fuck,
warm it
man.
up. Yeah.
One of my friends, and
God damn
I
it.
love her. And she was like, yeah, I saw it. And then just nothing. And I was like, you motherfucker. I was like,
pause there.
Fuck. And then she doesn't say anything after. And she was like, eh.
Yeah,
And I was like,
it's
oh,
fine.
I was like, and then like, obviously, I don't want to force it upon people. That came out a bit different from what I wanted, but I was like,
No,
yeah.
you know what it- look
I was
at
like,
it.
yeah, I was
promise
like,
it's-
look, I'll show you now. It's better. I promise. It's not.
Yeah,
It's fine. It's fuck. But
Yeah.
I don't even know how we got onto. Fuck, I'm sweating now as well.
Dude, that's funny.
I don't know how we got onto this tangent.
I used to have showers with the boys all the time.
Oh,
after
of course.
football.
Yeah, the gym,
So it's
like sports, anything
it's
like that. You
fine,
get
yeah.
used to it,
But
don't
that's
you?
funny because
Yeah.
it's like everyone's got like post.
Yeah, everyone's got a
sport
little
there.
nubbin. Yeah. It's
but then
mostly
like, then
just
you have a
foreskin at
shower,
that point.
And then
Yeah.
everyone's gross.
Yeah,
all the little boys
disgusting.
are gross. Like I remember, one of my mates just peeing on my leg once. I'm like,
That sounds like classic footy as well.
Yeah,
like any like Australian football, soccer, anything like that in the changing rooms afterwards.
I always find it funny because like I came from like more of a jock background.
Yeah.
And now I'm in the arts.
Yeah.
And it's weird, like because like when I grew up in Queensland from the Sunshine Coast,
Yeah.
like the arts was gay.
Yeah.
Right? That's what they said.
Oh,
Everyone's
absolutely.
like, "Why did you do
Yeah.
it's gay?" I have seen no willies since I've been in like the arts.
Yeah.
I've seen all my mates' dicks.
Yeah. It's so
Every
weird,
single
isn't
one.
it?
It's like the more straight something is, the
Yeah.
more dicks you see. It's
I know, right?
so
Like, oh, it's not gay though. It's not gay.
Yeah,
it's
it's like,
like, my dick's straight, and you're like, what are you talking about?
Change rooms are the gayest, in
Yeah.
inverted commas, places you'll ever be.
I
But
know,
it's
right?
like, but it's fine because we're playing footy. It's
Especially
so
with,
dumb.
like young adults and stuff like that. You do the weirdest stuff. I remember one day in after football in the showers, everyone was trying to pee on the roof, so they're like trying to piss straight up. And I'm like, I've never seen anything remotely close to that working in the arts. Like,
They're
it's
fucking idiots.
yeah, I know, right?
We are. It's because
Yeah.
like, the arts, you've kind of got to be cerebral, right?
Yeah.
Whereas footy, it's all physical. It's
Oh,
just,
absolutely.
Let the ball run.
Yeah.
Just like it's all, it's.
And you come in and like, especially like football, rugby, and anything like that, where you come in and you got a little bit of possibly a concussion afterwards as well, and you're like,
Totally.
things seem a lot smarter or funnier in the moment than when you get home a few days later. You're like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
It's just
I'm sick of
far out.
seeing the reports of like football scandal.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, obviously it's bad.
Yeah.
But what were you expecting?
Yeah,
You're paying them millions of dollars. They're just beefed up,
yeah.
testosterone filled young men.
And that's like, it's not forgiving some of the horrible stuff that footy players do.
Oh, not forgiving at all.
The things I remember a few years back, this guy got in so much shit for he was at a urinal and pissing into his own mouth.
Yeah,
And he
the
got,
bubbler. Todd
Yeah,
Kahn.
yeah, and he got let go from whatever team he was with, and I was like, man, you go on so many like health stores or health kicks, and people are like, they drink your morning pee or anything like that.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
Europhagia. It's called
Yeah.
Europhagia. I'm from the Sunshine Coast.
Yeah.
People do that there.
Yeah, exactly, right.
And also, he wasn't hurting anyone.
No, it was not. I was like, I cannot
That
believe
annoyed me
that.
so much.
Yeah, I found that insane.
Yeah.
Like, I was genuinely mad, and I was like, oh, you piss into a cup and drink it, and it's health. But you drink it straight. It's drinking from the tap without
Straight
a cup.
from the Bear Grylls does it as well.
Yeah, exactly,
Bro.
right. And he's applauded for it. Yeah.
Yeah. The other one is like when they're doing drugs or something,
Yeah.
some wanker takes a video of
Yeah.
them and then just like, I'm going to it's like you're destroying their career
Yeah.
or trying to destroy it. It's like, fucking leave them alone. You
Yeah.
all do it.
I know, right? It's like,
just
oh, please go to any real estate agent party. They're doing anything, like, there's so much fucking worse there.
Absolutely.
And they're not a good example, obviously.
No, but
nobody
like-
likes real estate agents.
like
but-
a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
And if you're not hurting anyone,
Yeah.
just fucking stop.
I know,
stop
right?
trying to
It's
destroy
crazy.
people's career for like. I can understand if they're being a piece of shit and,
Yeah,
like
for
and like
sure.
I don't know, doing something horrible to the person.
Yeah.
But like if they're just hanging out with their mates and they do a line or something
Yeah.
and take a photo of like those people should be fucking dragged over the coals.
It's
as well.
insane.
Like,
and then it's just like they're forced to make the most insincere apology ever as well. And then everybody
Yeah.
just has a great time with it for 3 days in the media. And then
Yeah.
it's just that one person that's left with their life ruined. And you're like,
yeah,
Well, it's-
there's just a lot of that at
Yeah.
the moment. It's especially, yeah, it's such a weird time to be
Yeah.
alive because it's like anyone can like you catch anyone doing anything. Like, God, you can take a soundbite from this podcast probably.
Yeah,
and
right.
go like, oh, he said this.
Yeah.
And it's like, no,
yeah.
I'm a good person.
I know, right?
You've taken the tiniest little segment,
Little
It's-
clip from something that has nothing to do with what it, like, it's just out of context and it's
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Man, this is meant to be a comedy podcast. We've got real deep.
Oh, sorry,
But it's,
mate.
no, I'm joking. But I feel like that stuff is important to say as well, especially because even with the acting careers and stuff like that, because it's like as soon as anyone does anything mildly wrong, you're like, they're done, they're gone. And I'm not talking about like your fucking Harvey Weinsteins or your Kevin Spaceys. I mean, throw them in the bin, obviously.
Yeah.
But like as soon as anyone, one little hiccup from their past or like they're caught doing a line or something like that, you're like,
Yeah.
who gives a shit?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, honestly.
Oh, someone will find nudes on the internet of me
Yeah.
sometime.
Yeah, that's fine. I like honestly, because you're like, oh wow, you can see nudes of me on the internet. You can go on a TV show where I did that on and see exactly the same thing. I don't see
Yeah.
what the difference is.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
totally. Yeah,
Yeah. Like it's applauded if it's on film, but if it's just sent to somebody and it's been leaked, then it's
Yeah,
a bad
God,
thing.
I was in a long distance relationship for like 3 years. We sent
Yeah.
nudes to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know where they're going to end up, but anyway.
Oh, they're all in the fucking cloud, and then someone's just waiting for you to get famous enough
Someone-
and try and blackmail you.
Yeah, they'll find it.
Yeah.
It's all right. I was pretty shredded then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as long
And
as
I-
you're proud of it as well, hey?
Yeah,
I'd
I
quite
didn't-
happily leak my own nudes if I was shredded again.
Didn't have sports dick hair. That was looking
Yeah.
all right.
It wasn't directly after a football game.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if someone's trying to send those nudes to me, I will pay you to not send that, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, those ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Post footy.
Anyone's
Oh.
taking them with me in theatre. I mean, first of all, you shouldn't be doing that. But secondly, we'll chat. I'll try and work out something where you don't send them out.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it's. I mean, I don't know how much they're going to show of this. Oh, that's the one I was going to talk about. The sex scene with the.
Oh, yeah. Your mates.
But that's pretty much. Oh, I can't talk about that anyway because it's not going to be out. It's called the Emu War.
Oh shit! Yeah, with
Yeah.
the Hot Dad production.
Yeah,
nice.
Those boys, yeah. So they're that'll be out. But there's a sex scene in that.
Well, I mean, everyone should probably go and watch it just for that. Then,
Yeah.
in that case, eh?
It's pretty hot stuff.
Yeah, is it?
But
Nice. Killing some
really.
emus and
I
some
just
sweaty men doing
I
it.
just had my gallbladder cut out as well, so
Oh,
I could
shit.
hardly move. Like I was like just had surgery, and then they oiled me up, and I was.
Far out. That's pretty hectic.
This is funny. And
Jeez.
it's not really a sex scene.
Yeah.
It's just boys being dumb
Boys being dumb, oiled up.
or oiled up, rubbing their butts
Post-surgery.
together. Dude, yeah.
It is nice what they ask you to do sometimes when you're like, I physically can't do this just now. And be like, well, this is the only day we can shoot this, so
Yeah.
yeah.
My only other sex scene was in The Warriors again, and it was funny. Luckily,
Yeah.
it was funny. Well, I say luckily because every single sex scene is not horny. There's like some big grip looking at you, like do you know,
Oh,
like there's
closed sets.
Yeah.
Like for anyone listening, closed sets just means it's like a skeleton crew, but that's still like 10 people in the
still
room
10
watching
people
you.
looking at you. Yeah. So
the sound guy just trying not to stare directly into your arsehole whilst he's like booming too close.
There's nothing sexy
No,
about it
it's
at
so
all.
bad.
At all. And I was like I was doing weights while
Yeah.
having sex, so that was kind of funny.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that
I was
kind
going to
of-
say that's the cheeky little secret from a lot of mostly guys. I'll be honest with you. Any topless scene or any scene that they're having sex, they've got their little dumbbells and their resistance bands off to the side.
Absolutely.
And every single time they're about to start rolling, you just rep out a few times. You get a bit of the blood in the important places, and then
Yeah,
then
absolutely.
you get your baby oil on and you go for it.
No one talks about that either.
No, it's so weird.
It's
everyone as well. I know that you've done films with some famous people who are most certainly doing weights in between their scenes and stuff like that.
Totally.
But nobody mentions it.
It's weird to me that no one talks about in Hollywood steroids either.
Oh, that's the big dark secret, isn't it?
That's weird.
And not
if
to-
I ever got on it,
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah. Like, I'm going to get on it.
I'm
Or like,
hanging out for a Marvel film so I can get on it, just so
yeah,
it's paid for. Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking about getting like a hair transplant as well. Like,
Oh,
because my
really?
hair's thinning out.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, fucking talk about it. Because, like, there's so many Hollywood actors
Just normalize that stuff.
that have got, but
Yeah.
it's like, shh, no.
right?
It's so weird that people don't talk about that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I want to look better.
Yeah.
I want to keep my hair.
Of course,
I'm
as
getting
well.
a hair transplant. Yeah.
And you're like, it's totally fine. It's not like a dark secret. It's not like I killed
Yeah.
someone when I was younger. You're like, no, it's just you've just made yourself look good. It's
Yeah.
fine.
And even when you get on the juice,
Yeah.
like, it still takes a lot of work to get big.
I think that's
and
the
look
thing.
Good. Like,
I think
everyone thinks
steroids.
you just.
Like people still think of steroids as from the 80s, where you shoot it in your arse and you become like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But
not at all. You have
so
to
much
work your
fucking-
ass off. But like,
that's-
no one talks about it
No.
in Hollywood, which
No.
is so fucking weird. It's like,
And if you even dare to like possibly mention it, you just get blacklisted from everything as well.
really?
Yeah, there's been a couple of guys who have sort of like mentioned it, and they're not your main guys as well, but like your B-list actors, I'd say.
Yeah.
And they've just been totally shit on for it, and everybody comes after them because it's all like the mums that are like,
Them talking about themselves doing it.
yeah, themselves getting on a cycle for something.
Really?
Because it's all like the Christian mums in America that come out and you're like, what example you're setting for your kids or the kids and stuff like that. And I'm like, I get that. But being open and upfront about it as well, it allows people to make their own informed decisions rather than going to like some back alley drug dealer at the back of Gold's Gym or something like that.
It's interesting why certain things aren't spoken about.
Yeah, right. It is strange because you
yeah.
can get on it legally as well, like testosterone replacement therapy. That's legal.
I was thinking about doing that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like
see?
38.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
I
getting
remember
up
what I
there
felt
as
like
well.
when I was early 20s.
Fuck, if you wanted to get into stunts as well, mate, you're going to start feeling pretty old pretty soon.
Yeah. But I don't know. No one really talks about any of that.
No,
shit.
it's not. I know, right? Yeah. So, any steroid companies that want to sponsor this podcast, like, hit us up.
Yeah,
I'll
but
get
I don't
on
know-
it.
I
Yep.
don't know if I'll be doing that
No.
anytime soon, but
It's
yeah.
like when you're older, especially, I think the testosterone replacement is a good idea. Like, it's just, it keeps you together.
yeah.
But again, like, this isn't me endorsing it or anything like that. Definitely go out and speak to professionals about it. But
I'll
yeah.
be talking to a doctor.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just gonna get it shot in my ass. Yeah,
No, I'll give you all. I've looked it up on the dark web. Don't you worry, mate. I've got a backpack full of it. I'm actually trying to sell it to
Thank
Ben
you,
after
yeah.
this podcast.
Yeah,
But
basically. Yeah.
But yeah, like do it smartly, of course. But yeah,
It's interesting. No one talks about any of that stuff.
no, right?
Anyway,
Yeah.
well, I'll probably be blacklisted after this comes out now, mate.
yeah, that's
Thanks
what
a
I'm
lot.
doing. I'm getting some dirt, and I'm trying to get the dirt on Ben so I can blackmail him into not releasing this
God damn.
podcast. I haven't even pressed record. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to say that we're getting to the end of our time here.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to wrap up on? Anything quick fire, embarrassing or awkward? I mean, by the sounds of things, you don't have anything you feel bad
I don't
about, to be
really
honest
think-
with you. No.
I don't really think.
We didn't even touch on stand-up, which is where honestly so many people seem to get their stories, their embarrassing and awkward experiences from as well.
Everyone's had a bomb. Like,
Yeah.
but you bomb at heaps.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of like you get impervious to it.
Yeah, I
So
think
it's-
that's probably why as well. Hey,
Yeah,
like why you
that's
don't
why I
feel
don't
bad
really-
about or embarrassed about that sort of stuff because you're like, yeah, fucking everyone does it.
Yeah. Everyone has a good bomb. I mean, yeah, there's been times where I'm like, oh shit, that's pretty crazy. Like I remember I got called out by an audience member because there was one one fella in the front who was just eating chips really
Far
loud.
out,
And I
man.
was like, dude, you're right, mate.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then he just grabbed these bags. He did the chip packet thing. He turned the chip packet upside down and shook it out into his mouth. And then
Fair enough.
And then he got up in the middle of the thing. I was trying to talk to him. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, mate. And he's like, yeah. No. And he seemed fine. And then he just grabbed his bag, threw it on these other chairs, and just laid out with his arms behind his back. I
Ooh,
was like,
far out.
man, what's going on? Are you all right?
Yeah.
And then see this other dude just went, lay off him. I went, what? He goes, lay off him. And then he handed me this sheet at halftime or
Yeah.
when we went to break. And he goes, he's severely autistic.
All right.
But like, I had a conversation with him,
Yeah.
back and forward, and he seemed fine.
Yeah.
And then this other dude made me look like a piece of shit. And I'm like, man, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And if you're going to come to a comedy show, don't sit your autistic son in the front row and let him eat bags of chips. Like,
yeah, it's a tough
obviously
one
we're
as
being
well, isn't
empathetic
it?
to,
Yeah,
like,
of course,
to everyone.
of course.
But like, at least give me the heads up so I don't look like a fucking idiot.
I know that's it as well. You hear so many people being like, "Oh, why are you not looking at the stage?" And you're like, "Because they're blind." And you're like, "Oh well, if I'd fucking known that, I wouldn't have called this person out." So it's like it's a lot of that stuff, and you always say something in the moment as well.
You're trying to be funny. Like
Yeah.
the whole thing is you just trying to be funny. You're not trying to hurt anyone's feelings.
No,
You're not
exactly,
trying to- the whole point you're there is to make people laugh and feel good. And then
exactly.
So you just go on for laughs, and then sometimes it doesn't work.
Yep.
And then you feel like a dickhead, and you're like, oh god. And then you
Fucking
get judged.
sucks the energy out of the room as well.
Oh
It's
god,
so-
his carer sucked as well. He was like,
really?
Didn't even give me the heads up.
Yeah.
Just like back off. And it just like screamed at me, and then gave me this sheet.
That sounds like a pretty hectic carer as well.
Yeah, I was like,
Just
fuck off, don't talk
Yeah.
to me. I'm like
I
a
know,
nice
right?
person. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, any heads up in the future is appreciated.
Yeah,
then. Yeah.
thank you.
But well, speaking of stand up, this will be coming out on Friday, the 20th now. So we've got 3 nights left of your show.
Yeah.
Parent-teacher interview.
Parent-teacher
playing
interview,
at
that'll be
Basement Comedy Club
Comedy.
in the city. So have you got any of the tickets actually available? You're a pretty fucking popular
man.
guy.
Yeah, they're sold out. Sunday will be Sunday. Well, depends when this comes out, but there's tickets left at the moment.
Yes, so that'll be this Sunday for anyone
This
listening
Sunday,
just now.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, but I think Friday, Saturday's sold out.
All right. Well, everyone get onto the Sunday then. I managed to see this show. It's a little bit of a hybrid of a show, if I'm not mistaken, is it?
It's what, sorry?
Bit of a hybrid of a show. So a few of your past material.
Oh, yes. I thought
Yeah.
you called it a Hagrid of a show. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's a
what
bit of a
the fuck's
Hagrid of a
that mean?
show. That's just me
Some
speaking
Scottish,
Scottish,
yeah, I
Ben.
was like,
Yeah, if you could understand my fucking language, if you're going to try and do it yourself.
Trying to neg me before. It's like, it's a bit of, I thought you'd seen it. You're like, it's a bit of a Hagrid of a
It's
show.
a fucking
guys.
mess of a show, guys. Don't come and no. I came to see it probably a couple of years ago now, actually.
Oh, okay. The parent-teacher interview one.
Yeah, fucking great.
Oh, thanks, man. It's-
Genuinely teared up at one point for it as well. I don't know if that point's still in it. I don't want to ruin it for anyone as well, but I was like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you comedians? I came here to laugh. Stop making me feel feelings.
I like to put a nice little.
Really fucking good, though.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
this one.
I mean, Sunday is the only day that anyone listening to this can come and see it now.
come check it out.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Are you taking it anywhere else just now as
Yeah,
well?
I'll be touring it afterwards. I'm going to film it.
Oh, fuck
and,
yeah.
I'm going to film it and then tour it.
Awesome.
Or tour it and then film it. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Are you up in Sydney Comedy Festival?
No, I'm not in Sydney.
No.
Not in Sydney.
Where are we?
I did Sydney last year. It was Sydney Comedy Festival was an interesting one because it's so spread out. It's so
it
spread out.
isn't.
It's really
not so
tricky.
central.
It's not like Melbourne where
Yeah.
it's like everyone's central and like there's a buzz around the city.
You
It's
can just
kinda like-
walk venue to venue and stuff like that.
Yeah, Sydney was kind of like, oh, is it on? Like
Yeah.
most people were like, oh, I didn't even know it was on.
I've heard that a few times about Sydney
Yeah,
Comedy
yeah.
Festival as well.
Not bagging it.
No, it's just different.
It's just a different vibe.
Yeah.
The Melbourne one's like a staple. It's all
Yeah.
in one.
Oh,
city.
for sure.
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
international as well.
But I'll be
Everyone
going up
comes over for it.
Brizzy and all of Queensland. And
Yeah,
so,
nice. Everyone check that out. You posting on the socials?
Yeah,
Can they
I'll
see where
post
that is? You got a website or anything where
Just
everyone can keep
jump
up to
on
date?
Instagram, Big Red Ben Knight.
Big Red Ben Knight
Yeah.
as well on Instagram. You've got Teacher Yarns with your dad as well, the podcast.
That's a podcast. Yeah,
Yeah.
And the old boy, I just rile him up, and he just goes off, and I try and keep him on track for an hour.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's always nice when you can have someone that just talks on a podcast as well.
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
had it yet, but you listen to some podcast, or haven't had it on this podcast yet, I should say. You listen to some podcasts where it's just dead air though, and you're like, far out, man. Why are you guys doing a podcast?
Yeah, totally.
Fucking mental.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice when, I mean, obviously you and your dad probably have a bit of a rapport, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. Yeah,
So that's great.
It's hard being a struggling artist when I had parents the parents that I did have because
Yeah.
it's like I got nothing to draw on. You know?
Yeah, right.
I was raised so well, like they're so lovely. I'm like, God, I need some.
I need
like,
something.
Yeah, like isn't comedy tragedy plus time? I've got nothing.
think so,
I'm
yeah.
just like, come on. I was raised
No.
Catholic. There should be something there. but
Yeah, I think
no.
there is. There's a few Catholic people kicking around though, isn't there?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
You got Bay of Fires coming up as well.
Bay of Fires will be coming out. Yeah. Soon, like June or July. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
know.
I had a couple of friends that worked on that as well.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, looking forward to. You got to spend some time down in Dankled, Tassie.
Dude, crazy.
Yeah.
In Queenstown.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild down there. Yeah, you could do a whole podcast on that place. It's it's insane.
Could be the next episode then.
Yeah,
but and then
it's
Fall
great.
Guy, obviously, presumably coming out towards the end of the year, maybe next year now.
Yeah. About this time next year, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, nice. Anything else as well you want to spruik whilst we're at it?
No, that's it. Just follow us on Instagram, and then all my shit goes up there.
Yeah, nice. Keep an eye out when that special is released as well. Are you filming it in Basement Comedy Club?
No, I'm filming it in a school.
Oh, creepy.
Yeah.
No.
Filming it in
an abandoned
Especially how I said
school.
it then. In a school.
In front of children?
No.
Good.
It's going to be an abandoned school. It's going to be after hours.
Oh, nice.
The show's called The Parent-Teacher Interview, so it's pretending that the parents are coming.
Yeah.
Just tee off on all the different types of parents.
Nice.
Yeah.
I do notice you get a fair whack of like teachers actually coming to your shows as well.
Yeah, it's most of them.
Yeah.
It's sick. I've got to corner the market somehow.
I know, right?
Yeah,
That's fucking great as well.
750 shows in the comedy festival this year.
Fuck, us a lot.
So many.
Yeah. So any teachers listening, come along. I mean, Sunday night's the only time that you get to see it, but you got nothing on Sunday nights, I'm sure. So come along to that.
What are you going to do? Planning?
Yeah, exactly.
You nerds.
Yeah, and it's right before a long weekend, or like kind of long weekend in Melbourne as well. So come along to it.
Exactly.
And good on you. I'll let this podcast finish, I promise. But I've spoken about a job I previously did at a vampire-themed cabaret restaurant, which we're not going to name. But I always said the worst fucking groups that you'd get in there at Christmas time, primary school teachers.
They're fucking psychos.
They are insane. So, I mean, God bless you for taking that group, taking those crowds, because far out, they're insane.
It's because they have to act like Mary Poppins in the classroom. That's
I've
what
always
everyone
said.
thinks.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks like teachers are like, because all their memories are like of Mrs. Mitchell.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like in grade 3, it's like 1, 2, 3 eyes on me. You don't see Mrs. Mitchell at the Christmas party
out
just
there
like
drinking an entire pint of blue cocktail, vomiting down the stairs and having to leave early because they've tried to grab one of the waiter's arses.
Yeah. Mrs. Mitchell can fucking tee off.
Mrs. Mitchell, I swear to God, I'm glad that place closed down now, because I don't know if I could have done another year of Christmas parties with you.
And they're psychos.
Yeah, they really are.
And I love them.
So yeah, any Mrs. Mitchells listening as well. Come along.
Get
as drunk as you can. Pinch Ben's arse.
Yeah, why not? Treat yourself.
Whatever sells tickets, eh? Thanks again for coming on, mate.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Cheers.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
And the same as every week, you can find the podcast at Won't Be Forgetting That Pod across most of the social media platforms. You can find myself at Seb Muirhead, Muirhead, across most of the socials as well. If you do want to jump onto the episode description as well, there's a couple of ways to support the podcast down there, which really do help.